back in action. Welcome, one and all, back with the Bench Player podcast. Took a little hiatus.
We back.
I like to call it Jordan's paternity leave.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
You got the little one, and it's been quite a journey. I want to ask you, what do you feel in this far in your son's life? What do you feel has changed in your demeanor or how you feel about things?
So no sleep. I appreciate sleep more than I once did.
But you
That's
were you were
that's
never a big sleeper though.
the thing is, I never was, and it's worse now. I thought I'd be cool because I'm not a big sleeper. I'm a very like give me 4 or 5 hours and I'm cool.
Yeah.
It's different now, but no, I mean outside of that, stay focused, man. I think naturally as a man, you kind of like, okay, I got to step life up now. Especially having a son, it's like he be looking at me and I'm like, oh, bro, like you looking up to me? That's a crazy way to start life. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no. I don't know if you've been here or if you're going to get there or if you even think of things this way, but when I had my daughter, there's definitely moments where it's like I feel like I love you too much. Like I think I need to like leave or something, or I think I need to like abandon you for a week or some shit.
That's crazy.
Cause, cause it's like, just like, bro, like I'll catch a body, like I'll murder somebody, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that something makes me feel like that.
Well, welcome to the rest of your life.
Like she's at the point, so she's over 6 months now. 6 months
Mhm.
was Saturday, and she's like looking and like realizing who I am and like smiling and laughing and stuff like that. And it's just like, it wouldn't even be a question.
Somebody got to die today.
like, I feel like I need to make a sacrifice.
Hey, man, do what you got to do. Just don't let it be me. That's all I ask.
Nah, never, never,
I
never.
support it.
But no, it's crazy. I'm just like, man, I don't like that something or someone can make me feel this way. Because like you meet your wife and you're like, I'll protect you
But she's
because
her own adult,
yeah,
a
then like
kid.
you have the kid and you're like you like I got no choice.
Yeah, everybody got to die. That's crazy.
Like
It's
and my
unfortunate.
daughter is just literally the most cutest thing in the world. And so
So,
life
serious question. I feel the
okay.
same way about my son. Do people with ugly babies actually understand their baby's ugly?
Yo, I probably have that conversation with Haley multiple times a week where I'm
I
like,
just,
am I tripping? Because like I look at my daughter and I'm like, you are perfect. Like she's got blue eyes, light brown hair, just every everything is just absolutely perfect. And then I'm like, or
I'll
is
see.
it or is that because it's my daughter? But I'm like, no, it can't be
No, no,
though.
no. You got a cute baby,
You
but
understand that. And I look
there's
at
there's people who don't have cute babies,
right. And
and I.
I think I saw a TikTok today that was just like me high-fiving my partner because we had a baby that actually looks like a baby and not an alien.
But how many people like that comment? All of them don't got pretty babies, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
like some of y'all walking around with some ETs.
no, like this. Just it's a numbers game. There's a lot of ugly people in the world, big dog. One of y'all got them. A few of y'all got them. Let's be real. It's okay. Your
And I
baby
feel
just
like
don't grow up with a good personality. You know what I
it's the
mean?
ugly people that make the cute babies, I feel.
I mean, you could say that. My baby cute, you know what I'm saying? We
No,
popping
not
in
all
here.
the
I
time.
don't
Not all the
know.
time. But like
Yes, no, I see what you're saying.
you ever like meet a girl and you like meet their parents for the first time and their parents are like hit. They're just like,
Yeah.
ew.
Hey, did y'all adopt her?
Like, where did you come from?
Let me see the
No,
aunts and uncles. I got to make sense of this.
no, but feels good to be back. It felt like, we took a life break because you had a life-changing event, but now we back at it and so much has happened, so much is going on. We're kind of in the middle of quite a bit. And
Baseball
um,
playoffs?
yeah,
We don't care.
no.
Um,
Like I mean, I follow baseball strictly for the reasoning of playing fantasy sports, but then I made it to the second round of the playoffs and I got knocked out, and I'm like, I don't care. I think it's the Dodgers and the Yankees, right?
yeah, yeah. Which
So
is, I
it's
mean, as far as marketing wise, that's
you couldn't have hit it more on the head.
this is a gold mine. So
Yeah.
good for both teams money, I guess. Whatever.
I was hoping you'd be good for both teams. I hope they all win. I hope everybody wins.
I mean, they're gonna win. They spent the most money on the roster, so cause and effect, I guess.
I mean, or do they or are they scheduled to spend the most money because of the way they set up their contracts?
I mean, that's fair. That's
This
just
team's
it's
gonna
like,
have
hey,
$0 in 2040.
they gave Homeboy contracts. I'm gonna pay you for the next 85 years. I'll pay your grandkids at some point. But hey, we will get this ship today.
And I know where that would be cross this would be kind of cross branding. I know you mentioned sports but then you got to talking about contracts and it brings me to well, I guess we could stay sports and go you want to talk about the latest wave of signings and extensions in the NBA?
Everybody getting signed, everybody getting paid except me. It's crazy. No, I mean, we can get into it. We have our biases. I
Yeah,
mean,
I feel like we got
no way you could tell what my bias is whatsoever.
no,
Obviously.
there's no shot. And I feel like we could get there, but I think we save the Houston teams for or the Houston players for the end, and then we'll kind of go
That's
over these
fair.
deals. Um, so players who have been extended this offseason, all right. The first one out the gate was Cade Cunningham, who got 5 years, 224 million.
It's crazy.
Um, shout out. Will he play? Don't know. But he's
That's
been
what I'm
hooping
saying,
in the
bro.
preseason, so we'll
If he
see.
getting paid like that, I gotta stop showing up to work. Because
Uh, the guy drafted. Man, you want to talk about Jalen Green really fumbling a bag because in that draft class, Cade got 224. Evan
mhm.
Mobley got the exact same deal, 5 year 224. Scotty Barnes got 5 years 224. And then Jalen Green, who was picked second, got 3 years 106.
Do you think that's a correlation of his play on the court? I don't
I'm
know if he's got it's who okay, for you have your top four, I guess you would say.
yeah,
Paolo, I'm tripping. Cade, Jalen,
Cade. So the
Scotty
top
Barnes, Evan Mobley,
Jalen Suggs was five,
Jalen Suggs.
and
Okay,
he
so out
signed
of
for
that,
five 150.
five, you said five 150?
Yeah, Jalen Suggs signed for five 150 and a half 150.
So he signed the Sengun contract.
Essentially, I mean, yeah, essentially. Well, Sengun got 185.
Okay. Um, I mean, based on performance, is he outperforming those guys? Let's start there.
So no, like the only thing that makes Jalen Green's contract so weird is because it's the 3 year, right? He's the
Correct.
only
Which is
person in
extremely
this
uncommon.
Jalen Johnson, who's a stud for Atlanta, he signed a 3 year 150 million. So him and Jalen are the only people to sign 3 year deals. But I want to say I'm happy because we're both Houston boys, right?
Hmm.
I don't think there's anyone who's been more critical of Jalen Green than me. And we've
Hmm.
had our back and forth ever since he got drafted. When he got drafted, I said I wouldn't have taken him. If he struggled to shoot in the G League and he struggled to create in the G League, how will that translate to the NBA? Because I feel like the G League is I feel like that's the closest thing to NBA ball. It's the NBA three,
It's watered down. You watered down NBA,
right?
basically.
Like, I mean, it's the 3 point line's the same distance. That's the difference between college and NBA is if he's a bad shooter in the NBA in college, maybe he goes to the NBA. Maybe the 3 point line being further back benefits him and helps him in a way. We saw like people like Kawhi Leonard who were
Hmm.
terrible 3 point shooters in college adapt well to the NBA three. I'm thinking, man, because he's in the G League, if he came from Kansas or Kentucky or some shit like that, I think I wouldn't have been as critical. But because he played NBA ball in a way, I was highly critical. I had Jalen Suggs ranked ahead of Jalen Green, and everyone said I was crazy. I mean, he got more total money, so maybe I was right at that. I
I
don't know.
mean, I don't know about that.
He got
You really,
150.
but you feel like Jalen
I feel like I would
Suggs
rather have
says,
Jalen Suggs on my team than Jalen Green. Yeah,
oh, that's nasty
because
words, but okay.
because you're talking. Do you want 22 points of inefficient scoring, or do you want 14 of elite defense and good playmaking?
I mean, I think you have to have the conversation of because what you're saying is I understand what you're saying, right?
Right.
It's based off you're going off based off pure fact of what's happening on the court, and I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Jalen Green just has his ceiling is so much crazier than Jalen Suggs,
I
and
can
that's
accept that.
that's that's why you spend the money, I guess you would say, because
Yeah.
especially and I'll tell you that month in March just made him a bunch of money.
Yeah. No,
It
that that
did. That's
that
that's what
made the ownership or whoever makes these decisions, general manager,
say. Yeah, say
if
whoa,
he would have kept
whoa,
struggling, it makes a job easier. You're like, okay, keep
100%.
playing bad. We can find a way to dump you to someone else, or we can figure something out, maybe get you on a bargain, something like that. But he started hooping, and they're like, God damn it.
Yeah, they're like, if
That
you did
sucks.
this every month, I'd give you a max today.
Yeah.
But here we are, right? I think that one month he looked like he can be a star.
Mm.
But to your point, consistency is what it all comes down to. If you do it for a month out of the year, it doesn't do me very good.
Yeah, I think it's consistency and it's efficiency. And it's can he, and this is something we've talked about for years now, can he add another tool to his game? Because right now he's a slasher scorer. He can't really shoot, not a good 3-point shooter. He shoots at about 32, 33%.
Mhm.
Um, he has a quick first step, super fast, and he gets to the rim. He's a good, really good slasher. Like he gets straight to the
Yeah,
bucket. Is that enough to pay him X, Y, and Z and to invest
yeah.
so much?
You can't, yeah,
He's not a playmaker. He's a playmaker in the sense of give me the ball and I'm gonna make something happen. He has some of that in him,
yeah.
but as far as getting others involved, which there's an argument on the Houston team, he doesn't need to do that because you got Fred VanVleet, you got Amon Thompson, you got guys who can create. And so and then now you got the Reed Shepard, who's probably, I mean, we haven't seen it, but probably a better of creating for others, a better playmaker than Jalen Green in that sense of being distributing the ball.
Mhm.
So we kind of say, is he going to pick up his defensive intensity? Is he going to pick up playmaking? He needs one more tool for me to be like,
Yeah,
all right, we're good. Because
that's
right
fair.
now, we've said this, I've said this a ton. He's for me, I've always said he's Jordan Clarkson. Like he can just give you buckets. That's really it,
But you're not paying max for Jordan
but you're
Clarkson.
not paying that much for Jordan Clarkson. And that was always my hesitancy with the Jalen Green situation. Us being close to Houston, Alperon Sengun, I think he's the best player on the Rockets. I've said this for 3 years now. He signs 5 years, 185,
Big bank,
which
take low banks, but no, but not max is surprising. I
getting
think
him
that's
getting him below max, to your point, with the 16th pick in the draft.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
and I think that he could easily be the best player out of this draft without question. I
Yeah.
think we've
I
already seen
mean,
hints of it.
we're
I
looking at
like
it.
it's. I think right now I like Evan Mobley as my favorite out of the draft currently.
Yeah,
Um,
because Cade, you don't really have a good gauge on Cade. Like he looks
exactly.
amazing at times.
He looks like he could be better than everybody, but I looks and what's happening is two different things. Same
You can
argument we have
kind of
Jalen Green.
count on Evan Mobley. You can kind of count on him.
Correct. So, but I think Sengun's a close second because I think what he's put on the floor as well as what he could be, he is a defensive liability. That's my only concern there, but he looks like he's the best player out of that draft. So getting him for under 200 is a steal.
Yeah, 185. He's the I mean, because you got all the people that hit the max, like Cade got the max, Evan Mobley got the max, Scotty Barnes got the max. Shout out Scotty Barnes. He's kind of a hooper. Shout out Scotty Barnes. And then Franz Wagner getting the max. I don't know about that.
That's crazy.
That but
That's
then
crazy.
but that okay, so that's what I hate. And Orlando's made these deals before where
Hmm.
they're finding a little bit of success and they're just like, "Oh, we're finding success. Let me tie up everybody that we're
Yeah. So
having this success with." But even that level of success is kind of minuscule, like it's kind of minute because it's like
yeah,
you made it
it's
to the
like,
first round of the playoffs, but then what?
hey, we don't suck anymore. Let's keep everybody.
Let's
It's like,
sign,
no,
yeah.
you have to
Um
leave yourself flexibility to improve, and that's they're putting themselves in a pickle again.
yeah, like Wagner getting 224 and then Suggs getting 150. So it's
Hmm.
like,
And
man,
Paolo's
you're
getting the max, obviously.
yeah, Paolo's
That's
gonna get
that
yeah,
might
he's
happen this summer.
and so you're like, all right, you got those three guys, make it
That's
happen,
it. Yeah, you don't have your money now.
make it
So
happen.
good luck.
And I guess that is kind of where you go. You get your three guys, right? You get your three dudes, you tie them up, and then you're like, let's hope for the best. And
Jesus
Rockets did
Christ.
it. Jalen Green with Alperon Sengun. Now there needs to be one more. I mean, right now it's Fred VanVleet if you're looking at contracts,
That'll be gone this year. So
but we'll see what happens. But no, I think these deals, it's just crazy what these role players are making nowadays. And I
absolutely.
get it. It's because the league is doing so well financially that
Hmm.
they can, shove out some of this money like Trey Murphy getting 112 million. I'm be honest, I didn't know much about Trey Murphy. I had to look him up. Like I know Trey Murphy, but I don't watch
Correct.
Pelicans games. Who does?
No, you saw that number and said, no, I'm missing
No,
something.
and so I had to look him up. 14 a game, 36% from three, 40 like
Good
40
defender, great
45 from the
defender.
field, borderline elite defender. So got it. And me and you were texting back and forth because we saw the Jalen Green deal and we're like, okay, let me ask you this. Do you like because there's kind of like the yin and yang, right? With Jalen
Mhm.
Green's deal, he affects the cap more each year because it's more money in a short amount of time. Do you like the 3 year 106 or would you like a 4 or 5 year with a smaller cap hit? How are you feeling?
My guess is that the Rockets tried to push that and Jalen wasn't going for it, understandably. Um, because of his potential, because what he feels like
Ooh,
he can do
yeah.
on the court. I understand that was the compromise, right? It's like, all right, we're gonna give you the money you want for a short amount of time. If you believe this is a Jalen Green saying, I believe in myself. We're gonna
Yep.
sign you for a shorter amount of time, but we're gonna give you the money that you want. However, within that time, you have to show us you can do something. I think that this was a moment where we have some accountability on Jalen's side saying, hey, I understand that I did not showcase myself to get a max deal for 5 years. However, I still think that I'm that guy. And the Rockets saying, hey, we think you have potential, but we're not sold on giving you a max deal at this point in time from what you put on the court. And I
Yep.
think it's both parties understanding each side. I'm this is one of those contracts you just think that, hey, I think both sides we're communicating well with one another. We understand where we're at, and we understand the goal. I think this still gives the goal of better basketball from Jalen, while also the Rockets saying, "Hey, we're going to give you some money, but it's 3 years. We're not tied to any way, shape, or form. We gave Dylan Brooks
And
a
that
3 year
third year
contract."
is a player option. So he has the
Correct.
decision on that third year. If he's really hooping, he can opt out and get a bigger deal.
Which
Um,
I think if he's really hooping, that we feel good about that at that point. So
yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of losses on either side in this moment.
Yeah, no, I was kind of going back and forth where it's like, man, I don't know, because if you look at the Rockets contracts, they have some dudes are getting paid a lot that maybe shouldn't get paid a lot,
Yeah, but
and
who? But who? That's the thing. It's you got Dylan Brooks, whose last year is next year. Fred VanVleet, which last year is this year. You empty out your bank, for lack of better words. And the Rockets are not in position to keep signing people because you have so many players already that of the young
bunch
core.
of young guys. Yep.
You've got to start paying these guys pretty soon here. So I think the Rockets are in a great position financially.
It's gonna
Because
be fun.
you could still bring on the superstar next year. That's the benefit.
Hopefully they
You
don't need to.
I don't
Hopefully,
think they will, but you open up for it, and it looks like they're setting up to possibly Kevin Durant, Devin Booker trade down the line. Which, if you have Jalen Green, Devin Booker doesn't really make a lot of sense. But you're opening up for a max contract this summer, which your hope is that the Rockets make a push, get to the playoffs this year, or get to the play-in this year, and you add superstar in at the end of this year, and then now it's go time.
speaking of adding a superstar, did you see that Paul George and Joel Embiid are already not playing?
We're already in midseason form, and I love it. Well, welcome to NBA basketball. Do you
Dude,
see what happened with Paul George?
I know like his injury.
Yes, it looked like he got shot in the back of the leg. It was crazy. I don't understand. I still don't know what happened. It looks like a hyperextension, but
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's what the report was. But
it can be a good feeling
the
on
to be a
feeling.
fan, to
Jeez.
be a fan of the Sixers, and then first opening day, it's like, oh no, Joel Embiid, no Paul George, and then Joel Embiid already came out and said, yeah, I'm probably not gonna play back to backs pretty like anymore.
At some point, if you're gonna say that, I'm not paying you as much.
Like I'm employing you for half the games.
Yeah, like what are
I
we
mean,
doing
not
here?
half a little more than half the games, but like,
I'm employing you for 75% of the games, so I should pay you as if you're gonna like you. Nobody else can go to work and say, "Hey, big dog, I ain't gonna lie to you. When it gets tough, I'm not coming." Um, Call me towards the end of the season. Maybe I'll be healthy. Maybe not. My history shows I won't be. You might get 50 games out of me. It's fine.
yeah, I think Kevin Garnett went off when he heard that. Kevin Garnett went
Rightfully so.
crazy. Kevin's like, I
Look,
like there was none of this back in the day. It was like you play 82, man. Like you play 82 unless you can't.
players get paid more and are more entitled nowadays, and it's annoying. It's frustrating. It's hard to speak from this side of the track, but whatever. Bench Player Podcast, we don't care.
That's what we do.
Uh, it's it. We're way too entitled now. Like I understand fighting for your rights with the contract, but once you get that contract, bro, you should be playing every single game unless injury. Don't say I'm gonna do this to avoid getting injured. Just go out there and compete, big dog. I understand injuries are part of it. If you're hurt, don't play. I get it, but don't. This what we're doing here is stupid.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what their strategy is because obviously I want to assume somebody gave Joel Embiid the okay to say something like that and to announce something like that. I want to
Has
say
to.
it was talked about somewhere, like he didn't just do that on his own accord.
No,
So
I doubt it.
I'm thinking, what's the move here? Are you guys just trying to are y'all just trying to make the playoffs? Like, don't care about seeding, you just want to make it, and then hopefully you get everybody healthy for the playoff time. I kind of want to understand
And the
the
East is too tough
strategy
to.
there.
The East is too tough to be sacrificing games. It's I don't know.
Well, those three teams that are going to be at the top, if you are trying to do this, we're just going to make the playoffs. Well, I'm going to assume you're going to make it in a lower seed. So then you're
Mhm.
telling me you want Boston
First round.
first round? You want New York first round? You want
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee first
Milwaukee's
round?
still a problem. That yeah, like what are we doing here? That
Like
doesn't make any
what?
sense. First round exit incoming. That's like Paul George went home first round last year. We're about to do the same thing again.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it. I think the Phillies stacked roster wise, but even the mentality of I'm going to sell out back to back games is telling of what you're doing over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like as a fan of basketball, opening day, I don't get to see Giannis versus Embiid versus Paul George versus Damian Lillard. I don't get to see that
Yeah,
because you know they're
we
just
scared. We scared.
yeah, like it is what it is. I don't want to talk down on anyone that's having like health issues, but it's like really Joel Embiid's a former MVP.
Just last year.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Like, what are we doing?
Um,
Well, I got his MVP, so he's done now, I guess.
he's like, I got it. I'm solidified at this
I
point.
just I don't know. I think the attitude in the NBA has changed, and I used to think, man, fans are too entitled to be feeling this way about it. But like, I understand it now. This has gone too far.
It's getting kind
Like,
of nuts.
y'all are supposed to be employees at the end of the day. Like, let's get it together. I understand that I want everybody to be healthy, right? I want everybody to be able to speak their mind, do what they want. But this whole, I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play. I just don't feel like it. Or this fake injury, it's stupid. It's making the sport look a joke, and y'all are getting paid at an all-time high at this point.
Yeah, it's not the best look in the world, I'll tell you that. But so I got in front of me here the inside the NBA crew, so that's
Mhm.
Shaq, Charles Barkley, Ernie, right? They did their top 50 players in the NBA.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm just gonna run through top 10 for you, and then you tell me how you feel about it. Okay, number one, Nikola Jokic. I feel like that's unanimous.
Obviously.
Two, Giannis. I'm not mad at it. Could be a little
Yeah.
high. Not
I don't
mad
know if
at it.
I don't know if I agree, but I'm not. I
Like
understand.
there's not really much you can say. Three, Luca. Yep, that was coming. If he wasn't two, that
Who
was coming after
I
that.
about to say that's who my two was.
Number four, Joel Embiid. Now, I don't know.
Yeah, doesn't play.
Five, LeBron. It's LeBron. It's LeBron. So,
I
what
mean,
can you say?
probably still too high
Yeah,
if we're
but I
being
mean,
realistic, but I get it. It's LeBron.
six, Steph Curry. Sure.
Okay.
Seven, Shea. I like
I'm
that.
pro- I'm probably putting Shea over Steph Curry at this point in time.
Yeah, but like at the end of the
But
day,
the what Steph Curry ultimately can do is better than what Shea can do.
yeah.
I get it.
Uh, 8 is Kevin Durant.
Okay.
You're gonna like this one. 9, Jaylen Brown.
Mm,
I know you like that. That's your boy.
rightfully deserved.
And then 10, his counterpart, or I guess his teammate, kind of his counterpart if you think about it.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum at 10.
I guess I don't like the disrespect that Jalen Brown gets, to be honest with you. But rightfully so. I think that's 100% correct.
Yeah, so that is your top 10. That followed by Anthony Edwards at 11, just missed the top 10. Anthony Davis at 12, Devin Booker at 13, Jalen Brunson at 14, Bam Adebayo at 15, Ja Morant
Are we
16.
are we agreeing with Devin Booker being over Jalen Brunson right now?
You, you.
I,
This is why I do a podcast with you. Let's talk
I
about it.
I think that's a question to have because one person carried their team, the other was out in the first round while being the second best player on their team. I understand who we're playing is circumstantial, but it's an argument to be had because Jalen Brunson was carrying that team in the playoffs through rounds and only got beat because everybody got hurt, including himself. Otherwise, he would have.
Right.
I think we could agree he's going to Eastern Conference Finals.
They could have went to the finals. They
Yes,
could have
it's.
like them in Boston healthy would have been
Oh,
a
and
banger.
I pray to God we see it this year.
Um, no, like I'm taking Jalen Brunson over Devin Booker
Okay,
because
I
Devin.
might take him over Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm
Let's
gonna slow
stretch
down.
it. Let's
I'm gonna slow
go.
down.
Let's stretch it. Let's go.
I
Pause.
think we have to start having a conversation. Jalen Brunson is first, it was an MVP candidate. And
Yep.
then we have to talk about who was the next best person on his team like last year.
Yeah, it was Dante DiVincenzo for
Exactly, because
a lot of it.
Randall was hurt. Julian Randall was hurt. Let's have
Yep.
that conversation.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, he's playing with role players. Let's call it what it is,
They
right?
were all role players. Yes. Oh yeah.
All role players.
OG is a great defensive player, but also a role player.
Correct. These are top-notch role players. I'll be clear, but they're
Yep,
still role
absolutely.
players.
Yeah.
That's what the Knicks are right now is high quality role players. But Jalen Brunson has been carrying this team, putting them on his back. Um, I might put him over Anthony Edwards. I don't think it's gonna last very long. That might be over by the end of the season. I'm gonna be honest because
But
the trajectory.
you're also not saying like I'm putting Brunson over Anthony Edwards. You're like, if I thought about it, like it's a conversation. Like you have to sit and
I
think
think
about
so.
it.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think the end goal would be over him, but I think the trajectory Anthony Edwards is on, that's going to end this year.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't potted in a long time, right? So
Oh, this whole move happened after, or has happened since.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we have not gotten to discuss how we feel about Carl Anthony Towns on the Knicks, Julius Randle
I
on the
love
Timberwolves.
the Knicks team. As we talk about award predictions, you're going to see how much I love this Knicks team. I think this Knicks team is built to deal with injuries. They're built to deal with the playoffs. My only concern is what happens in the paint, based on who they're facing, right? When it's time to play the Sixers in the playoffs, how do you stop Embiid? Um, now, maybe you don't have to stop Embiid, and I think that's kind of where that question starts coming in. But how do you stop a Giannis? We've seen these guys go to the playoffs, and we said, "Hey, we're gonna let Giannis cook, and we're gonna stop everybody else," and it's worked. So I think that's going to be what we do. However, I that's my only concern. Outside of that, this team is flawless to me. They can shoot, they can defend from every single angle as far as on the wing. They have backups who can defend. They have backups that can score. This team is tough, man. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing. Um, I when this trade happens, I don't think it affected either team too much. Like I don't think any I think both teams got like I think there's an argument that they got a little better, a little worse. I feel like there's arguments for both.
Yeah.
Um I'm big on Julius Randle. I've always have been. I
Mhm.
feel with um the Timberwolves getting Julius Randle as well as Dante DiVincenzo, I feel
That's
the
gonna be huge.
Dante DiVincenzo edition
That's huge.
is
That's
kind of
huge.
slept on because he can show up and do what Mike Conley struggled to do at times, which is just
Correct.
catch the ball from Anthony Edwards and shoot a three,
Hmm.
and there you go. And I think
He
Julius
might be one of
Randle,
the best in the league at that.
right, and what Julius Randle does, not only himself as a scorer, but what Julius Randle does from a playmaking standpoint, super like when it comes to big men and playmaking, getting others involved, he's one of the best in the league to do it. And I think, and he was also a guy like Jalen Brunson who led the Knicks at some point as the
Hmm.
best player and led them into the playoffs. So I like Julius Randle on the team. My hesitation with Karl Anthony Towns on the Knicks, and it really just comes from how I'm about to explain it. It's not really a talent on the court type of thing, but every single guy from Jalen Brunson to Josh Hart to OG to Mikal Bridges, those guys all strike me as Thibodeau guys. Like
Yeah.
they're the guys. Karl Anthony Towns just doesn't seem like a Thibodeau guy to me.
No, I could understand that
I feel
100%.
like Thibodeau's gonna yell at him and he's gonna cry. I mean,
And you talk about not only Thibodeau, New York. Um, the fans do
right.
not forgive very well. They treated Julius Randle like shit when he was hurt. It's
For just because he was hurt.
yeah, no, like you pull this out of being a lottery team every year, but you're hurt. It's tough atmosphere. Tough atmosphere. I think that the benefit he has is he has the Thibodeau guys around him that can kind of shield a little bit, break that off a little bit. But yes, Thibodeau being your coach, be ready to pay 48 minutes a game. It's gonna happen at some point.
And he has the injury history. Like
Yep,
he's he gets banged up every year. So, but if you look at the preseason numbers, I saw some 22 points, 11 rebounds. Like he was going crazy in the preseason. So I don't think it's a. I think if they're all healthy and hooping on the court, I think it's going to be fine for both teams, Minnesota and New York. But the
correct.
only thing I kind of took away that could possibly be a negative is like if you look at that Knicks team, everybody kind of fit together, and then now Karl Anthony Towns, that really he kind of sticks out as like
I mean, a little bit, but
just from a character standpoint, not from a on the
yeah,
court playing
on
too.
court it makes sense. It
Yeah,
does. But
absolutely.
character
Yeah,
wise, I get it. But I think we saw a little bit more out of Karl Anthony Towns last year in the playoffs, because he was the one that had to guard Jokic.
because your boy couldn't do
because
it.
they had a scrub, a washing machine, if you will.
Who's still
In their
there?
bed. He's how? I don't know.
Who would have who had it on their bingo card
Who'd have thought
that
it?
Karl Anthony Towns would be moved before Gobert?
I I'm not getting I'm not
Yeah,
getting on my soapbox.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
yet, at
yeah,
least.
yeah.
Not yet. But it's I think Karl Anthony Towns held it down defensively more than anybody expected last year. So if I can get a smidge of that with this Knicks team, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it's I think it'll be fine for both teams. Both teams are going to do really good. Both teams are going to be high seeds, I think. Um just hope for health for both guys, for Karl Anthony Towns
Yeah.
and Julius Randle. Just stay healthy. Let's see what you got. Um looking and we talked about awards, we talked about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's sitting at plus 1400 for MVP right now as far as
Nice.
odds.
Mm.
I'm saying Brunson, who would have thought? So he's one, two, three, four. He's fifth in MVP voting. So that's pretty good for Jalen
Yeah.
Brunson.
So I just want you to know, I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Okay.
We're not doing awards yet. I have him for MVP. Just you're talking
Okay.
about it so much. I do have to throw that out there.
But I don't mind the pick.
I thought I was going. I'll be honest with you. Did not check the betting odds. I was like, I'm going crazy over here.
I mean,
But
plus 1400, you put 100 on it, you win $1,400.
I might, I might get crazy. I don't know.
Like, that's nuts. But I'm just over here. I just happened to pull it up as you were talking, and as you were talking about Jalen Brunson. I was just pulling it up. I was like, I wonder what the odds are. And then there you have it, plus 1400. I was wondering if we were maybe like catching him sleeping, but he's fifth. I
Who's the other four?
I just left it. Let me.
Jokic,
Jokic is one. Jokic,
Luka.
yeah, Jokic is your one. Um, Shea. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Luca's your one. My bad. Hold on.
You
Five.
know how bad I wanted to put Luka
Seventh. He
as
was not fifth.
MVP?
He was seventh. My shit was fucked up.
Oh,
He was
just killing
so
me.
it's so in MVP odds in order. Luca, Shea, Jokic, Giannis, Anthony Edwards. That's your five.
I think it's a little too early for Anthony Edwards, but that was on my list too. And I
You
think
can
we have this conversation every single year. Luca has to win one at some point.
it's almost like it's worth the money to put 100 on him each year
Yeah, I
because
just
it's gonna
like
happen.
it's gonna hit at some point. I literally did not put him there because I was like, I've done this every year. He doesn't win.
Yeah, I think I've
So
chose him the last 2 years to be
so I guess
MVP.
Jalen technically is my second choice, but I feel confident.
Yeah.
But if Luca wins, I was still right. I just wanted to establish that.
So before we move on from this list right here, this is just something that we've been talking about. Donovan Mitchell's at 23. Okay.
Hmm.
Guys ahead of him. Do you take Jimmy Butler over Donovan Mitchell right
No,
now? Because this is based
no,
off of right now.
no.
No, right? So
Two, two, 2 years ago, probably.
they have
Not
Jimmy
today.
Butler over Donovan Mitchell.
That's wrong.
Do you take Paul George over Donovan Mitchell?
No,
Me neither,
no.
right? And then he's ahead of Jimmy Butler. And
Hmm.
then Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell. It's
It's close.
closer.
It's
It's
close. It's
closer.
close. It's close.
I feel like I still edge Donovan Mitchell. Edge
Probably.
Donovan Mitchell's crazy. That's not
No,
what
no,
I
you
meant.
wildin'.
That's
You
not what I
wildin'.
meant.
I ain't gonna lie.
Um,
You going a little crazy.
that's crazy. I'm not
Welcome back.
taking and we're talking about talent right now. I'm not taking John Moran over Donovan Mitchell. I'm not. As far as right
I'm
now.
not. I'm not. I haven't seen enough from John Morant. Obviously, he was hurt last year, plus the suspension, plus he's got to do drive-bys. He's really busy. That's all I'm
It's
trying to
like
say.
he's got a lot on his mind. He's got a lot on his plate, you know?
He may not be focused on basketball. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. Every time I get into these conversations and we talk about rankings, Donovan
It's
Mitchell's always way too low.
just disrespectful.
He's always way too low. And I've no ties to Donovan Mitchell. When I was grading him and scouting him out of college, I thought he was going to be another Marcus Smart. I
Where
missed
was
that
you
one.
wrong?
Yeah, I missed that one altogether. I've no Donovan Mitchell's the one guy who has proved me wrong his entire career. He's never played for a team that I support. I just happen to watch him play in playoffs and games that matter, and he always is the best player on the court. And he just never gets the proper credit. Um, all right, do you want to go into our award predictions here?
Might as well. I've already gave you my MVP,
Yeah,
so
so you got why don't you re-announce it? Jordan, who do you got for MVP this year?
all right. Drum roll. Um, Jalen Brunson. Come on now. I
Yeah.
just think that team's built for success. I think that you have to consider what the seeding will be at the end of the year when we talk about MVP. And I think that Jalen Brunson will be top of mind when it comes to that at the end of the year. Like we said, if Luca wins it, I feel like I'm still right because I didn't pick Luca because I picked him too many times before and he didn't get it. But he's gonna win one at some point. But I like Jalen. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's three guys, right? Luca has to be in conversation just
Every time.
because the media loves him, everybody loves him, and if he plays halfway to the ability that we know that he can play, he's going to be a top choice. Shea is going to be a top choice because I think people want him to win because
Plus, number one seed and just consistency. That's his benefit. He's never gonna blow you. Whoa.
he's not a stat stuffer, right? Like
Correct,
there's
but
not a lot of triple doubles.
you're getting 30 and 8
You
every game.
you're getting 30 and 6. It's gonna be an efficient 30 and 6.
Correct, correct. So
Uh,
I'm not mad at it.
yeah, so it's Luca, it's Shea, and then my third guy was Jalen Brunson.
All
Like
right.
those are my top three. Jokic, I just feel like there's no way, right? It would
Plus,
just
Russ is over there. It ruins things. I don't know what it is. He's a plague.
no, yeah, Russ brings everybody down. Giannis at plus 850, Giannis isn't terrible. It's just where is his health going to be? And, again, kind of something we've seen before. How about Wimby at plus 2000? Wimbenyama.
That that may not be that crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they're gonna have the team success for him to get it. But if I was a bet, I am a betting man.
You
But
are
if
a betting man.
We'll talk about my parlay later. But it's not far fetched at this point.
No. So I will take the safe bet and go Luca MVP just because it's bound to happen at some point. And
Yeah,
like this is the year. Shea
three
would be
years.
my
So you got to be right at some point.
I don't know if I keep guessing the same thing, it's just I can't the moment I go away from it is the moment it's gonna happen. So Luca MVP, and then my second would be Shea, third Jalen Brunson. Those are
Let's
my
just
three.
let's just give you Shea. I'll take Jalen, and then Luca's
We'll
like our
both be
healthy.
right. We'll both be
Yes,
right.
Luca's our
But
healthy
yeah.
win if he wins. I
No, I
like it.
like that. I like that a lot. Um, who do you got for rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year. So this is probably the hardest one because
I'm
I
waiting.
don't I don't care about anybody out of this rookie
Right.
class whatsoever. So
Okay.
naturally, no bias, going with Reed Shepard.
Yep.
My only concern is will he play?
Right.
You got Rackeshire from Atlanta who's going to
You
get
you
playing
be
minutes.
adding so many letters to people's
Dog, I don't care.
Worcestershire.
Rackeshire. Um,
There's no
he's
K. There's no
he
K.
he's got a ball from jump, right?
Yeah.
You got Alex Sarr in Washington. It's kind of intriguing, but I'm not. It's just nobody moves me out of these rookies. We watch them in preseason. They didn't move me. Summer league, they didn't move me. I don't feel good about anybody, if I'm being honest with you. I'm going Reed Shepard just because clean shot. He's on a team that I think is going to have a playoff run, which can sometimes give you a little bit of pool rookie of the
Yep.
year. I'm just not excited about any of the rookies this year. I hope somebody proves me wrong, but it doesn't feel like a good year.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of these guys are gonna play,
Correct.
but not a lot of teams are super exciting. But for this reason, I like Zach Edey from Memphis. I really do.
I do like Zach Edey,
He was the best player in like college basketball history, right?
which doesn't always translate.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is
Hmm.
hurt, like
Hmm.
always. So he's gonna get some minutes. And if you take anything from preseason,
He looked great.
he looks like he can play.
He looked great.
He looks like he can play. So
He's just slow.
he's yeah. Zach Edey from Memphis. I don't think you need a crazy stat line to win rookie of the year. I think if he can get 14 and 10, I think
Yeah,
that's enough to do it.
better than everybody else.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going Zach Edey, rookie of the year. Um, I wouldn't sleep on Ristichet. I wouldn't sleep on him just because I think he's going to start and I think he's going to be fine. Reed Shepard's a good pick. Alex Sarr, those are guys that are going to play a lot.
Hmm.
But I think Zach Edey could potentially provide the most efficient basketball. As a big man, he's going to get a ton of rebounds. He's going to score at the rim. Like I said, 14 and 10. I think that'll, since the media and the voters, everyone loves, guys who can do double and triple doubles. I think Edey might stick out from the group in that regard. Um, Defensive player of the year. I feel like we got the same. We probably might have the same pick here.
Most likely the one who should have won last year.
Yep, it's gonna be Wimby.
Yeah, no, because
It's gonna
there's
be
not a better
Wimby.
defender.
No, and I get the reason why they didn't go with him because his team was trash. I
Bears.
don't think they let that shit happen twice.
Absolutely not. Freaking Gobert was trash, and they picked him. So who cares if your team is trash?
So this will make you happy. So the odds for defensive player of the year, Wembanyama's a favorite. I hope you know
Good.
that for a guy to be minus money in a pool filled with 30 dudes, that's very hard to do. Like Luca in the MVP conversation was plus 350 and he was that's the best
Hmm.
odds at plus money. At minus money, he damn near is going to win it, right? So he's at minus 155.
Give him a trophy now.
Bam who would be my second choice because I think Bam's gonna have a crazy year this year. Bam is at plus 1100, Evan Mobley plus 1200, Chet Holmgren plus 1200, and then
I like
there's your
that.
Gobert at plus 2000.
He should just
He's not winning again.
no. The NBA's fed up with him. I'm fed up with him. Move on. Move
I'm fed up with him.
on.
Um, yeah, we're not gonna do six man of the year because we don't know what these lineups are gonna look like.
Correct. It's gonna be somebody from the Knicks. That's my guess.
Most improved player. I'm excited to see what you got here.
So, kind of in line with everything we've been talking about. My pool of players I'm pulling from is not very wide.
Yep.
Pause. But Dante DiVincenzo, I don't even know how to say his
Oh,
name.
DiVincenzo for
I just
most
think his
improved.
his his role's gonna get more important where he's at.
I
I think
love that
he's
pick.
gonna have a chip on his shoulder, and I think that he's gonna provide the shooting that they desperately need over there. I just think that he's gonna come up in a great way.
Okay. So I have one pick. I have one pick that's gonna be wild, right?
Oh Lord,
And then I have one that's kind of more okay, cool.
Russell Westbrook.
To win MVP and then win most improved after is insane. So check this out. Emmanuel quickly for Toronto.
Hmm. Okay.
He couldn't get minutes because of Jalen Brunson in New York. He gets shipped to Toronto. He's going to be the starting point guard. He plays really good ball in limited minutes. If they just let him go out there, play with Scotty Barnes, who's also a great utility guy that can do a bunch of different things, and let him just get his 33, 34 minutes a game and go crazy, I think quickly can get it done. So he's sitting at plus 3,500, and
Hmm.
I really like that pick. I really do. Another one, Jalen Johnson for the
Hmm.
Hawks.
Just got paid too.
He just got paid. There's going to be no Dejounte Murray. He's the second guy to Trey Young.
Yeah.
So, I think yeah, I don't have his stats in front of me, but I think he averaged 15, 16 last year. To be the number 2 guy, we need 20 plus. And I
It's
think that
fair.
4 point jump is what gets you in these most improved player conversations. So Jalen Johnson from Atlanta would be like my super serious pick, but the one I'm out there on a limb with is Isaiah Quickly, Toronto. I think he can do it. I'm a big fan. Have you thought about Coach of the Year?
Um, Coach of the year is always tough, right? 'Cause see, it happens with team success.
Yep.
OKC, it's gotta. I'm gonna bias. I
Do it.
mean,
Do it.
I'm really trying not to be biased though. Like
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, 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 yeah.
but I think he should have. Well, I want to say he should have won last year, but I completely understand him not winning last year. Um, I'm gonna debate somebody else first.
Okay. So in the same line of, the Raptors being good, the Raptors were really bad last year. And I
Mhm.
think if they can do the turnaround from being a bad team to making the playoffs this year and showing good basketball with Scotty Barnes quickly, RJ Barrett, all those guys, Nick Nurse, I think, has a shot. I really like it. Um, And if the Rockets do what the Rockets have got to do, right? The Rockets have got to make the playoffs. I think with this team, I think the Rockets flirt with 50 wins this year.
Mhm.
Probably go over that. I like Nick Nurse and I like Udoka.
Wait, Nick Nurse, you said for Toronto.
Oh, there
I
we
said,
go.
wait a
There
minute,
we
what?
go.
I was so confused.
No, did he used to coach there?
No, he did. He won a championship there.
Yeah, no, I'm fucked up.
You lose your shit. I
No,
said,
that's
wait,
on me. That's on me. That's on
Toronto,
me. No.
Toronto.
Yeah, no. I'm talking Darko. I got Darko
It doesn't even sound
Ravakovic.
believable now. It doesn't even sound believable now. Yeah, whatever,
Yo, I just
whoever over
got
there.
names. I just got fucking teams and names in my notes, and I don't tie them together in any way. And I'm just like, I got Nick Nurse in my shit for whatever reason. But no, Raptors coach. He was the Raptors coach. But but I
So
got Dar I got Darko.
I got Thibodeau. I think is a high possibility. Just because where
That
that
would
team,
just be fun.
just because where that could go, obviously. And I got it's really hard to not say Udoka though. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard.
Yeah, because they were well,
Team
we Rockets were 500 last year. They were 500 last year,
after winning 20 something games the year
41
before.
and 41, right? And then to make the playoffs or to at least flirt with the play in, you got to win 48 plus, right? So if they're gonna do what they have to do in order for this all to make sense, he's got to have a pretty substantial win improvement.
Yeah.
So he's in that conversation. I agree. He was the second name I had down. That's why I didn't write down the Toronto's name because Darko Ravacevic. Like, yeah, like I'm gonna try to spell that. Nick
Yeah.
Nurse is easier to spell.
Toronto's coach Drake is gonna win Coach of the Year.
Drake. Shout out to him. But no, I think that Toronto squad could be good. Um, nah, man, it's gonna be fun, dude. Like I think this year, it's been a while since I've been this excited for NBA basketball. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
It's I was looking at the conferences, like, and I was just trying to build out who's gonna make what. I will say the West looks wide open. Wide the fuck open.
Yeah,
The East is
it's
pretty tied up. The West, it's like I feel good about, and we'll talk about finals predictions, but I feel good about one or two teams. Outside of that, it's so open. I
yeah.
think you got the Nuggets where you got a Westbrook problem. You also lost
Yeah,
Reggie
yeah,
Jackson.
you write them off right now. Like write the Nuggets off right now. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with his play on the court. It has
It's just
it's
it's him.
there's an aura with Russell Westbrook that if he's in your locker room, things aren't going to go how you want it to go.
And I've rooted for him for a long time. So
Yeah,
it's not
I have no
doesn't
issues
come
with them.
doesn't come from a bad place, but here
I
we are.
call it how I see it.
I feel that.
And no, to your point, the West has a lot of talent scattered,
Correct.
right? Like there's a lot of talent scattered to where if one of these dudes doesn't show up, that one of these healthy teams that you don't expect can make a run in the West. The East is like you got those four big dogs. And
Even
maybe
when they
fit
hurt, they still better than y'all. Like,
yeah, like with the East, the Knicks are going to be really good.
yeah.
Great. The
Celtics,
Celtics
obviously.
are going to be great. We were worried about the Sixers, maybe not now. Maybe
Yeah,
not now. And then
that's fair.
the Bucks are going to be tough to the end. Teams like the Magic are going to be super tough to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's going to be
And after that, it gets a little funky.
so while we're here, this is it. This is where all dreams live or die.
Yes, sir.
It's time to make our finals prediction. And we can't, this is it, and we can't sway.
I'm ready.
Finals prediction. I mean, the floor is yours.
I got, oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Houston. No.
No, 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 no. I got the Dallas. I got them going again. I think they did great last year. They showed what they could do. They just molded a team together that works, and I think they're going to continue to get better. And they added freaking Klay Thompson, which say what you want to say about Klay Thompson the past 2 years, he's still a superior shooter. He's eyed on defense now. He's not great.
Mm.
But I think he's enough to be that spot up shooter in the corner. You got Kyrie, you got Luka. Him being on wing is just sounds like nasty work. And I got them versus Shocker, the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
That's how serious I take this. But I do have Dallas winning.
All right.
Dallas is six.
Oh, so we're even calling it. We're calling it. Okay.
I'm calling it. I'm calling
Okay. So you know me, everything's never just a straight answer.
it.
Two teams out of the West. I think one of these two teams. I will put my name on one, and the other, if it happens, don't say I didn't tell you so. Right? I got the Thunder
Okay.
in the
It's about that
finals.
time.
Thunder goes to the finals. Do not be surprised if you see the Suns go crazy. Again, I think that roster, even outside of like the three dudes that we know, I think is incredibly underrated. I think
Mhm.
that's a good roster. So I'll put my name on Thunder. Don't be surprised if the Suns find a way to make it there. Those are my
Honorable
two
mention.
out of
Honorable
the
mention.
West. East, I gotta go Knicks. Gotta go
Yeah.
Knicks. Just because that team is gonna be so scrappy. It's gonna be tough to do anything with them. So I got the Knicks, and if I had to do an honorable mention in the East, I would not be surprised if Milwaukee, if Giannis comes out and has some of the best basketball we've seen him play.
See, I think my honorable mention is the Celtics. Just well-oiled machine. That team is solid. They
It's
have
not a sexy pick, but
yes, it's not fun.
it's
That's why I didn't pick
efficient.
them.
Yeah.
But everybody's coming back, and they looked dominant over everybody. So I'm not shocked them running it back.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. And I'm one team, and we talked about the Nuggets. Like I'm not even talking about the Nuggets because that team doesn't do anything for me, especially with rest there.
Washington in the finals.
Yeah, it would be funny, right? Um, a team that's really not making me feel it is Dallas.
Really?
I don't
What do
feel it.
you,
I
what
don't.
do you think the disconnect's going to be? If you think Luka's going to win MVP, and they essentially brought back the same team they had last year
Yep.
with the subtraction of what, Tim Hardaway, which
And Derek Jones Jr. and you added Clay. Yeah.
correct. But they're not losing a whole lot.
Mm-mm.
They gained some. What do you think disconnect will be this year?
So for me, and again, I it's not this is not from a place of hate. This is just some natural sports criticism. Is Kyrie going to be better? I don't think so.
No, probably not.
I
More
think
more of the
that
same. I think would be a win in their book.
yeah. Clay is in the back nine of his career.
Okay.
I don't see is it an improvement from Tim Hardaway? Is it an improvement from Derek Jones Jr.? Sure, right? Um, but back nine of his career, the honestly the best part outside of Luca, obviously, because he's a unicorn, but like the best part of that offense or the best part of that team that I like is a developing Derek Lively. That's like my favorite part of that team is he looked really good at center, and I like to see him in year two. But with that team, I don't see them making enough changes to get past some of these teams that are just improving by so many measures. Like I think OKC is going to come in and be so much better than last year.
Hmm.
And with Dallas, I think the scenario and I think the narrative that we're going to see, I think they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be high seed and they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to struggle. And I think the conversation is going to be you got a aged Klay Thompson and you got a aged Kyrie Irving and you got a prime Luca, but these guys aren't doing
Holding their
what
own.
they need to do to
Yeah.
make, and it's going to be that's what the narrative is going to be. Luca doesn't have enough help. Kyrie's trash. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this is what the narrative is going to be from the toxic sports fans. They're going to say Kyrie's washed, Clay's washed, get Luca some help. That's going to be the conversation when they get knocked out of the second round of the playoffs. That's my prediction. But, we'll see. That's a team that's just not moving the needle for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we got some good games tonight. I mean, we got
Can't wait.
Knicks, Celtics, Timberwolves, Lakers in an
That's
hour.
that's it. That's about to take off.
That's crazy.
And then you got Minnesota and LA. Is Bronny gonna play tonight?
Yes, he'll probably be the first one off the bench. He'll play about 10 minutes, maybe, but they're gonna get the photo op of him and his dad checking in, or like they're gonna do some shit like that.
I got you. That's fair.
Yeah, that's what's gonna be. But he'll score a bucket maybe.
That's asking a lot.
I think his over unders at like 2.5 points. Hey, if he knocks down 1 3, you cash out. Check it out.
That's fair.
Um, but no, I mean, I think Nick Celtics going to be a dogfight, and the Lakers are always bad to start the year, so I think Timberwolves walk away with that one.
Easy.
Excited to see that. I'm super excited to see the Timberwolves team.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I really care about. I don't really care about the Lakers. The Lakers don't do anything for me at all.
No,
But more so, I want to see that Minnesota team come out ready to ball. I'm excited to see it. Is Julius Randle playing, right?
yeah, should be.
Okay.
He
He
played in
should be healthy
preseason.
by now. Yeah, he should be healthy.
Um, that's if I know we're not doing six man of the year, but I'll tell you what, if the lineup stay how we anticipate it staying and Dalton Connect coming off the bench, I think he could be a rookie of the year, six man of the year conversation because he looks like a serious hooper. They look like they
He's
got a
yeah,
steal with him.
he look like a stud.
He
But his
looks
shoot, no.
what he scored
But
20 points in a row.
the way he shoots makes me think he's going to be a starter pretty soon. So we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Um, music. What you got? Music. We here
Tyler the
now.
Creator. Tyler the Creator. Thank you so much
I'm trying
for
not to get into.
saving.
I'm gonna tell you something, okay?
Don't fanboy.
I'm I'm giddy. I'm giddy over here. Tyler the Creator does things musically that a lot of people cannot do.
Correct.
He's from a different, like whatever. I'm not saying he's Kanye, but he's cut from a similar cloth. where like
Hmm.
they just when they make music, it's some shit that you never would ever think to hear. And this rollout has been unbelievable.
It's I just he makes me miss the creativity in music
Oh my
so
gosh.
much
Yes.
from everybody else. Because it's like, I'm a big Future fan, but it's like, album coming tomorrow,
Mixtape Friday.
rapping about bitches. All right, thanks. Ready.
I'm a listen. I'm a listen.
No, I'm a listen, I'm a love it. Don't get me wrong, but there's just um a different oomph when I see somebody roll out something that I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And I love artists where I know that when I hit play on that album, I have no idea what to expect. And
Right.
I love that. It's an actual audio adventure, if you will.
Yep.
As I listen to an album, I love albums like that. You don't get that from very many artists. That number is decreasing over
Any
time.
like just none at this point.
And Tyler is just so underrated as a hip hop artist. I understand he doesn't make hip hop all the time, and maybe that's why. But how is
I
he not a top five hip hop
I've
artist?
been trying to put him in every conversation, and you haven't let me up to this point. But I'm just
I
like,
mean, once again, I don't know if you make enough hip hop to be in the conversation, but when you do make hip hop, you're a top five.
it
It
sounds like
probably is. It's probably number five, but he's a top five artist.
it sounds like this album, Chromacopia. It
Might do
sounds
it.
like it's gonna be hip hop because the Noid record got released and he's rapping on there.
Yeah, not a
Um,
lot, but he's rapping.
he's rapping. Well, I mean, there's just a lot of drum breaks and a lot of guitar solos and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
it
no, and
feels very
then
movie-ish.
yeah, and the rollout with the video of the people getting into the storage containers. Have you seen the internet trying to break down who's who?
I try not to do that until I hear the album. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I
they're
kind of want
like,
to.
so the if we're following the internet, if the streets is talking,
Per usual.
Frank on the album, Daniel Caesar on the album,
That's enough. I
Kendrick
don't.
Kendrick on the album, because
Jeez.
him and Kendrick go way back. They're cool. They're cool. They
Yeah,
used to tour together. And what was it? Donald Glover, so Childish Gambino.
that's
Uh,
gonna happen.
them two are so similar. Don't know how it hasn't happened at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but the weekend, I was told there could be a weekend feature, or like people were trying to.
The weekend's
Literally,
on.
I watched a video of people pausing it as they're walking, and then they like brought a picture of that person there and like faded it in and out to be like, look, they got the same face shape. I'm like,
That's
bro,
crazy.
stay out the basement, man. Stay off that galaxy gas, bro. But no, I'm pumped, and it's gonna drop on a Tuesday.
Yes, I love music dropping on Tuesdays.
Yep. So we'll see, man. But
I'm
no,
excited, man. I'm excited.
this is I think Tyler is just such a breath of fresh air when it comes
That's
to
that's a great way to put it.
it's just so different. There's an actual rollout. There's no like of that weird promo. Like he's not gonna do a stream with Aiden Ross, or Kai Cenat. It's just
Yes,
like I'm gonna put out a movie and you're gonna go buy it, you're gonna go watch it, you're gonna go listen. And
it's just art. That's it.
it's so artistic. It just if you played that Noid record to someone that just casually listens to music, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Then we're listening to it. We have the same words, but a different meaning. We're like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, yeah, it's the same feeling that like when Kanye does something, or like when old Kanye used to do
You about to say
something.
not as much anymore. Kanye does a lot
No,
today.
when old Kanye used to do stuff, it would be, how did you think to put this together?
Correct. Yeah.
And Tyler's doing that, and I'm glad it's getting acknowledged. I think we're in for one of those album of the year conversations.
This has
I
been a
don't think
crazy
this
year.
can be. I can't see. I'm not gonna say this because I don't want to put too much expectation on it, but I can't see this being bad by any means.
Yeah, no. I don't
Uh,
know if
I don't
I've
know if
heard
he's
some
capable of doing that.
I'm about to say I've heard some Tyler albums that's like, yeah, that's cool, but I've never heard anything bad before.
Yes,
It's been a great year of music, man. I'll be honest with you. We kind of hit a dead moment the past month or two. But it's been a great year of music.
dude. And I mean, speaking of music, I think it'd be cool to point this out. I found this and I was reading it. This isn't really our bag as far as hip hop goes, but I feel like it's definitely interesting in the music business in terms of deals. Justin Bieber sold his music catalog to Spotify for $3 million a month. Um, so to clarify and expand, Justin Bieber sold his music catalog to Spotify, which he'll be paid $3 million per month for the next 20 years. This deal includes all the songs he released before 2022. This is considered to be one of the biggest music business deals of all time.
I mean,
That's impressive.
I feel like investment wise, it's probably the smartest thing to do because 20 years from now, $3 million is not going to be $3 million. But salute to never going broke ever in your life.
And what
You
really
know
sticks
how
out to
nice it'd
me,
be? You could blow 3 million and like it's
I
the first.
got another one coming.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say Allen Iverson structured his Reebok deal like that, where it's like you
Correct.
got to
Yeah.
pay me like even after this is done, pay me some money per month. But I think what's really sticks out here is the only the songs prior to 2022.
So as he makes music after,
It's still yours
that's
or it's
just
still
adding to
whatever.
it.
Yeah, like
That's
and if you
crazy.
think of Bieber's, I mean that counts his journals
That counts almost
album.
everything, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Has he
like
put out much music in the past 2 years?
no, what I was saying, what I was getting at was I think a lot of his music is very poppy, and especially the younger stuff does not my demographic, not yours either, but he
Yeah.
does have that Journals project, which was like really good R&B.
Hmm.
But other than that, it's a bunch of poppy stuff that I'm pretty sure he doesn't even really want to make anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think that's really what it's about. It's a matter of is it profitable? And that's where all his profit was prior to that.
Yeah, I think if Bieber puts out music today or tomorrow, I think it sounds different than this 2022 and before catalog anyway. So he's like, might as well get paid. I don't even listen to it. I don't even acknowledge that it's there. We both make music. There's songs that we've made that we don't even acknowledge that we made. And he gets to
Hmm.
make $3 million a month off that shit.
I mean, I was close. They give me three
So,
cents. Let's
okay,
go.
I got a game for you.
Wait. Time
Whoa,
out.
whoa, uh-oh,
What
uh-oh.
we're not gonna do if we're talking about new music, we're not gonna forget Ab Soul, November 8th.
Oh, okay, talk
Soul
about it.
Burger. Soul Burger. He put out a song called All of That. As an avid Ab-Soul fan, and I think I can speak for most Ab-Soul fans,
Hmm.
I heard Control years ago and thought, my God, this is about to be the greatest artist I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
Every album then since has been a little bit disappointing.
Hmm.
I just got a feeling about this album, man. Nothing to rely on. I like all that song. It's real like chill, like whatever. Uh, but he's due for like just one of those albums that's just different. He raps at a high level. If
Yep.
we just talk about pure lyricism, he's better than all of y'all. Where he fails at his storytelling through making music. So I'm hoping we see something a little bit different, but I just at least have to acknowledge Soul Burger, November 8th. Come on now.
No, I respect it. Yeah, it's always the it seems like there's so much going on in his head, and to make it digestible for the listener sometimes is difficult.
Yes.
And I I get it. But I want to play a game with you, okay? In front of me, I have the top 10 Spotify most streamed hip hop artists of September because
Hmm.
we're still in October. So, I want you to try to guess. You got 3 strikes. And think this is hip hop. There's all versions of hip hop. I want you to guess the top 10 Spotify most streamed hip hop artists of September, so last month. So the time's
Like
important here.
like in order?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give you some guesses. You got 3 strikes. Try to guess the top 10.
Well, Drake's number one.
This is true. There you go. Bing.
Travis Scott somewhere in there.
That's number 2. Let's go in order in this beach.
Kendrick Lamar's probably still on there.
Number 6, but you're still on
Future.
the board. Future is number 3. You're 4 for 4.
Okay. You said all
Think about all demographics.
that lets me know there's gonna be some off the wall shit on here.
Okay, so I'll
Uh,
say this. There's one that I'm like, you probably won't guess, and I probably wouldn't guess, but everything else, it makes sense to me.
okay. I was gonna say Big Sean should put out an album, but no.
That was about 40,000 streams. So
Is Sexy Red on there?
No, there's no women on here. I'll give you that.
Wow. Okay, that's surprising.
Yeah.
Um, hmm, let me see. Let me see. Let me
You
see. Who
got, I
do
mean,
I
you did
have?
good.
Eminem. Eminem has to be on there. His
Eminem is
albums are
number
on.
5. There you go. You
Okay.
got one strike. You're missing 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 10 is the one that I'm like,
I'm not gonna get
I
probably.
don't think you get it. No.
M's on there. Who has put out music recently? Because that's what this is all
And think
about,
about
right?
who people are just like stands of and people are just super fans of.
What's that Tommy Kid? Is he on there?
No, I will say everybody on this top 10 are like they're established. They're not
Oh,
new.
okay, okay, okay,
They're all like
okay.
people that I would say have near cult followings. Maybe not a couple, but there's one
Okay.
on here. There's one that you should just get because it's that guy. But there's one on here who has a crazy cult following. I don't understand it.
Obviously,
Um,
J. Cole. J. Cole has to be on
not
there.
J. Cole. That's your second
What?
strike. No J. Cole.
No J. Cole?
No J. Cole. And there's one guy that's more of a producer, but he's on here as a rapper. I don't.
That's not fair. I don't know. Metro.
Metro's number 7. There you go. All
Okay.
right, so
Why
you're
is he on there? But
I
I
don't
get
know.
it.
Yeah, I guess he puts out his albums. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
so
Man,
you
I don't
got
even
4, 8, 9, 10.
4, 8, 9, 10. I feel like I'm about to mess this up.
You got one more
Uh,
strike left.
is
Think about who you grew up with and who you were a fan of.
Kanye, is he on there?
Kanye's number 4. You got to think of the cult like followings. All right.
Yeah, that's fair. They
So
listen
you
to
got
whatever he puts
Kanye at
out.
4. So now you got 8,
All
9, and
right.
10.
Is Rod Wave on there?
No, no Rod Wave, and that's
See,
your
he's
third strike.
popular.
Okay.
All right, what's the
So,
rest of this?
yeah, so one is Drake at 1.1 billion streams in a month.
Shocker.
Uh,
Shocker.
put some respect on Travis Scott's name because he's at 1 billion, so he's like point
No,
0.1.
Travis Scott is like God to the kids.
So 1.1 billion for Drake at 1 billion for Travis Scott at 2, Future 3, 905 million, 4 Kanye 788 million, 5 Eminem 737 million, 6 Kendrick Lamar 709, 7 Metro 580, 8 21 Savage at 503 million.
Hmm.
9,
Okay.
this is the guy who has that cult following that I don't get, but Playboy Cardi
Yeah, I don't get that.
is
I
at
don't think
455 million. And 10, I would have never guessed it. XX Tentacion, rest in peace.
he been dead for years. How is he up? Hey, shout out. That's crazy.
His estate's getting paid.
That's crazy.
But
That's
yeah,
honestly very impressive, but that's
but
crazy.
even the artists that are deceased, I would think Juice World would be higher just because everybody loves
I
Juice World.
I think people had a weird connection with XX Tentacion.
Yeah, you ever watched his documentary?
No.
Dude was crazy.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know if I want to watch
Apparently,
it.
he would no. We watched and we're kind of like ooh, but
Yeah, there's some people I just like. It's cool. Like I could just kind of keep the mystique. It's all right.
he would just like he would just fight people just for fun. Like they'd be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
go fight that guy," and he'd be like, "I bet." And like he would just walk out. And there'd be a crowd of people with one dude right there ready to fight, and then he would just beat him up and then walk away. He was just a
See,
crazy dude.
yeah. He's deceased, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But
Yeah, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying. Um, no. What else you got? It music. What have you been listening to lately?
What have I been listening to? A
Yeah.
Baby Screaming. Um, that's been my
M-
favorite track.
music to my ears.
Yeah, no. Have you heard Baby? I'm sure you have. Baby music is trash, bro. Like,
No, my daughter listens to Lauren Hill.
I mean, I play all the music around him, right? But my wife obviously is like, oh, we gotta play some Baby TV. That shit is trash.
No,
Who comes up with this?
that's the number one rule in our household is that we don't have anything baby related. Like except for obviously her like toys that she plays with, but TV like she watches football and UFC and that's it.
It's trash.
And
I need you to.
she listens to whatever we put on the record player or whatever.
Can you talk to my wife about this? I don't understand.
No,
She's like, but
hey,
we.
I think Haley working with kids her whole life, she kind of I think is just like this shit is not needed. Like,
It doesn't. Well, I think there's a point where like okay, there's a learning factor to it. I can understand that,
yeah,
but fam, like maybe it's not even one yet. We about to start jamming in here.
No, she loves colors, so anything that has a lot of colors. But no, I put her in like Sundays. When I'm watching football, I put her in her bouncer
Hmm.
that where she kind of just like she's kind of like propped up a little bit, and I put on the football games, and she just watches it.
Chilling.
She
All she knows is there's colors going back and forth.
yeah, like
That's
no,
enough.
and I yeah, and that's really it. Um, turn it up and the sound. If it's quiet and she's watching it, she'll like make noise. But if you turn it up so she can hear the game, you won't even know she's there. You forget you have a kid.
Oh wow. Can't relate.
Well, your kid's still like figuring out how to breathe and shit.
It's an interception. No, same. I feel that.
No, man. It's good to be back. In the pod room. It's good to talk some music, talk some sports. We need to talk football because it's basketball time.
It's basketball
You know,
time.
you're still number one in fantasy. How you feeling?
I have no idea how I am, but we
You
here.
have, yeah.
Can
I
I
mean,
just read off the roster I wrote out last week? Because that
yeah.
was crazy.
Let's. All I know is you got the number one quarterback in the league.
I mean,
You got five of them things from Lamar last night.
so Lamar Jackson last night,
Yeah,
or last week rather. Great Lamar being Lamar, right?
five TDs.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he's been saving me this entire year.
Let's
I
who
have
else you?
Marvin Harrison Jr. at wide receiver. He gave me
He had
three
about three catches. Yeah,
3.6 last night.
yeah.
Jordan Addison.
Okay.
I got Jaleel McLaughlin from Denver.
Yep. Backup running back, by the way.
Uh-huh. Devin Singletary.
Kind
He
of a
gave me
backup running back.
a solid 2 point. Might as well be, right?
Yeah,
George Kittle saved me a little bit.
he was hooping.
And then I have Bub Means from New Orleans Saints.
I started him in my league too. Yeah,
He's like the ninth string Saints wide
but
receiver.
everybody's hurt there. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's hurt, so he gets to play. Um, San Francisco defense.
Yep.
I have the 40, I'm sorry, Washington Commanders kicker,
Seaford,
17 points.
Seifert. Yeah,
The second highest scoring person on my team.
and you
Uh,
won.
I won. I, I I like to brag a lot. That's who I am as a person deep down inside.
But you don't even feel good.
I don't even feel good about it. Like, how is this going to work week by week? But hey, I'm still number one. That's all
I,
that matters.
and if you guys know ball, you guys know football. Jordan has Nico Collins,
Pain,
who got hurt,
pain,
Devin Singletary, who missed multiple games,
pain.
Jonathan Taylor, who's still hurt,
Hmm.
and you got Marvin Harrison Jr., who got knocked out in like the first play of the previous game, so he got zero
Hmm.
there. You've been hit with some shit.
I'm
Kittle's
still
been
the
hurt.
number one stunner. Ain't nothing changed. Now, next week, I don't know. I said that last week, so who knows?
We get into the point where me and you about to match up.
Oh,
I think week
ooh,
nine. I think week nine is when we play.
it gets tough. It gets tough out here when you guys step to the number one boss. You know what I mean? I get it.
We'll see. I had a good week last week, but I think dude put like a buck 30 on me, and I was like, ain't nothing you can really do
Don't
there.
you hate when that happens? When like, no, I felt good about what I performed,
Yeah.
and you look at the other side, you're like, damn,
Well,
all
the
right,
way
well,
the way our scoring in our league is like if you can get high 90s to 100 points, you
mm-hmm.
had a good week. And I had like 107,
Tell you
and
what,
dude,
we don't play till week 11.
oh, and then dude put up a buck 30 on me.
What can you do?
It was fine. It's fine. But yeah, man, we'll end it here. Bench player podcast, and then we'll catch these games at 6:30,
You goddamn right.
and we out of here. Any words of wisdom for the people?
You know what it's all about. I hope Rudy Gobert is plus 8 million for defensive player of the year because he's a trash can man.
What if he
He'd be
just
a,
balls tonight?
if he balls tonight, I will come on here and do a public apology.
Okay, so realistically, let's not take too much time, but give me a stat line tonight that you'd be like Rudy Gobert. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you are
He's
kind of
back.
nice.
He's back. Um, I'm not even asking for much. Give me 17 points.
17 points, and he needs some blocks, right? He needs some
No,
blocks.
no, no. 17 points. I want 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
I need 3 blocks at least.
17,
Uh,
10, and 3, and you're like, all right, he's kind of nice.
yeah, no, he did his thing.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get 10 points, 6 rebounds, two
No
blocks.
blocks.
He
No
might get some
block.
blocks. He might get some blocks. He's tall as hell. You block somebody. Block the sun. Do something.
Um, all right, man. Well, it's been fun. Let's end it here, and then we'll catch y'all next time. Bench Player Podcast. We out this beach.